The Cortices Technique is one of the most used and most essential techniques of the BodyTalk system, although it can be used with other systems as well, because basically the Cortices Technique is a very powerful way of reducing the stress in the brain. Our brain gets stress from all the different stresses in life of many different forms, and we find that within the brain that stress can cause basically like circuit breakers to break down. The communication, particularly between the two hemispheres, gets compromised, and this gets the brain to underfunction and you to feel more dull-headed and not as clear, and it can weaken your brain's ability to even keep your body going and healthy. So in BodyTalk we've developed a technique that is designed to actually reset those communication pathways so as that they start functioning properly again. And this reset can last a fair while, although we believe that because the average person with a lot of stress, they probably should use it frequently. I would suggest even daily for a while until you're feeling very stress-free, and then you can lengthen it out. And should be used on everyone in the family. It's a home remedy. It is part of the BodyTalk system, but this is a very safe system just to use at home. And if you're doing it on a regular basis, you're just going to find your stress levels reduce dramatically, and you're going to feel much better in yourself. In fact, some people are feeling better even after they've done it a few times. And so it's sort of a preventative medicine and a maintenance of handling one of the biggest problems we have in our societies at the moment, and that's high stress levels and the way they're affecting brain function. So this is very, very a powerful one to help reduce the stress in your home, your family, and in your body so it can heal better. Okay, it's a simple technique. I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'll demonstrate it a couple of times. You might want to do it with me. We're going to use contact on the head, and we're going to use the tapping technique. Now, the tapping technique is one of the original things in BodyTalk. It's where we can tap very lightly, and we set up what they call a solitone, or a standing wave. And the effect of that actually goes down and brings about changes in those circuits and helps to heal them. When combined with us bridging the hemispheres with our hand, which is also a magnetic field. And by bridging there and tapping, we reset the circuits. But we're going to do it in the whole head in a systematic way. Now, when we tap, we're tapping and getting the information going into the brain. But of course, nowadays in physiology, we know that the heart has a brain as well, and the intestinal tract has a brain. And they're quite big brains, and they have a very important function. So we include them in the tapping. So although we're only using the hand on the head, we are going to include the other brains in the tapping. So we'll demonstrate it. It's just a systematic thing. We're going to start with the hand at the base of the skull at the back, with bridging across, and then we simply do light tapping. It's not heavy tapping. You don't have to belt the person, just light tapping there on the brain, making sure you have at least some fingers either side of the center point. And then you're going to tap over the sternum for the heart brain, and then tap around where the navel is for the enteric brain. Then you move your hand up to the next space, right next door, and you're going to tap again, you're going to tap again. It doesn't have to be hard tapping. It doesn't work better the harder you tap. Okay, and then we're going to move forward again, and we're going to tap where we can find some skull to tap, the chest, and stomach, and then we finally come down to here. And we're going to tap, tap, and tap. Now we've got to do the rest of the brain, the two sides. So we put our hands there. Now we can't tap with both hands on, but we have the hands there, then we release one, and tap 3 spots. Then we release this one, and tap the 3 spots. And come back, relax for a second. While you're doing that, I suggest you take a few deep breaths. It just helps all the circuitry of the energies, etc. Now, if you this is something the whole family can do. And for kids, it's great. But with kids, For me, my big hand, I don't have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. I can usually do the average kid type of thing in 3 positions or sometimes 2 positions because I've got a big hand. Just so long as you are covering all the surface area of the brain. Okay? It's very simple. The only side effect can be reduction of stress and improvement in health. You cannot do any harm with this. And we suggest you do it on yourself and on your children, and even get them into the routine. Usually kids will like doing it because if we know when they're stressed and uptight and not very antsy, you find I've seen the kids automatically do their own cortices to just calm down, get them to sleep, etc. So it's a technique that is a very valuable part of maintenance of healthcare. It's something you can do for yourself that is going to make a huge difference in reducing your stress levels and your quality of life. So give it a try. You can't do any harm with it, but if you do it for a while, you're going to see results.